Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a large wooden house that some may call the ultimate survival house. The house features an easy access nether portal out front with an incredible amount of terraces leading out onto the outside of the house. There's too many to count. We even have a small farm as well. There is a lot of storage space on each one of the three floors of the house, including a hidden away brewing / farming area on the ground floor of the house. On the second floor, which is only accessible via a ladder to the right of the front entrance, we have even more storage. We have more terraces and more hidden away chests and secret items, along with access to yet another floor where we keep all of our valuables, including our beds and maybe even a cheeky hidden away ender chest. Not to mention, of course, access to one of the very many balconies / terraces hidden away across your house. If you enjoy this video, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me out an incredible amount. And if you do enjoy the build, if you do decide to make it, or maybe even if you just loved it enough to click on this video, please share it with a friend. I bet that they'd love it too. Sharing is caring. And without any further ado, let's get started. Now, before we begin, I can tell you that the house only requires a 25 block area by a 21 block area. A lot of this house is built upwards rather than outwards. And we also only need all of these materials that I have in both my hotbar and inventory. However, if you do plan on furnishing the inside, we probably will be needing a lot more stuff. You guys know what you need to furnish the inside of a house: furnaces, chests, ender pearls, regular stuff. Make sure that you have all of these materials. We may grab more later on. Pause the video if necessary. Do make sure that you have them, and once you do have all of this stuff, we may begin. So let's say that you have made this grid in your world, which I always recommend. It helps a ton to better plan out your build. Well, you're going to want to start on the front right hand corner of your grid, and you want to count inwards from the corner by not one but two. That way we're both starting in the same place. Begin by placing a row of 6 spruce wood coming up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I then want you to take out your birch fence, and I want you to place a row of 5 birch fence going left of the 6th block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then place a row of birch slabs underneath the fence, and then construct a row of spruce wood coming up from the ground next to the fence and the slabs. That should be fairly simple to do. Whilst we are at this point right here, we should also do the nether portal. So the nether portal is fairly simple. I want you to place a row of birch planks directly behind the birch slabs. Connect the planks down to the ground on the left and right, and only the left and right. I then want you to place obsidian. Inside of the birchwood planks on the left and right side. I also want you to connect them together at the top, and also dig into the ground and connect them together also. You don't have to dig the corner blocks out, like this. So, you see, from the outside looking in, we now have this shape, which is a perfectly fine shape and all, but to make it cooler, much cooler, we're going to place a birchwood stairs in the left corner, bottom right corner, the upper left corner, that's upside down, and the upper right corner, also upside down. And that way you have a very cool curved portal. I like that a lot better myself. Now once you have done that, we can progress a little bit. So, move to the left of the build. It's important to recall where we place the birch slabs. You see, from the same position that we placed the birch slabs on the front, we want to continue placing birch slabs from this same spruce block, and we want to go backwards by 2. 1, 2. Turn the second slab into a plank and connect it down to the ground using the same. I then want you to place a row of spruce wood that is 1 row backwards from the birchwood planks and 1 row inwards, like this, so directly behind the obsidian pretty much. I then want you to place a row of birchwood planks that is in front and to the left of the spruce wood, like so. Then, in the same position that we placed birchwood slabs on the birchwood plank row, I want you to place birchwood slabs coming left of this row, and I want you to place 1 birchwood slab moving backwards, followed by a spruce wood, and it's important to extend that spruce wood upwards by 1, but also connect it down to the ground, and you might want to change the direction of the spruce wood. If you like, if it makes you a little bit more comfortable, you can place a row of birchwood planks behind the empty gap, just there, so as to make it into a nice solid wall. However, continuing on, we want to take this spruce wood that we had to correct the position of, and we want to extend it left by 2 using birchwood slabs. So that's 1, 2. We then want to place a spruce wood going left of this, and then place an additional 2 birchwood slabs. 1, 2. Place an additional spruce wood going left, and then place 5 birchwood slabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a spruce wood. Now, we've got a little bit extra to do. You see, we now want to connect, to start off with, we want to connect this pair of spruce wood. We want to connect them down to the ground. The ones that are sideways, we'll leave them sideways for the moment. And we also want to extend the right block, this is different from the left, the right block upwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want to extend the left block upwards again by 4, but 1, 2, 3, 4. However, we then want to extend that 4th block backwards by 1, and then up by 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. So, what we should have so far should look exactly like this. Now, we're going to move over to this sideways facing spruce wood block that we placed earlier, and we want to extend this block down to the ground as we did with the others. However, where this spruce wood block differs a little bit is that we now want to place a birchwood slab behind it, and then we want to place a row of spruce wood coming up by 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to continue extending the birchwood slabs backwards, and we want to place 4 more slabs coming back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then place yourself a spruce wood, connect it down to the ground. However, you also want to extend this particular spruce wood also up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a little bit complicated, but we want to have this shape. What we then want to do is we want to take the spruce wood that is sideways, and we want to place a birchwood slab coming inwards from that spruce, and then a spruce wood coming inwards from the slab, so outwards from the slab really. Extend the spruce wood downwards, like so. I then want you to extend the spruce wood to the left by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then place a spruce wood, extend that down to the ground like this, and then take that spruce wood and also extend it back with the slabs by 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I then want you to place a spruce wood and connect it down to the ground. So, so far, quite complicated really. We want to have a shape which should look very much like this, which it looks a lot very jumbled and weird at the moment. However, it will get a lot better and increasingly easier once we start filling in particular parts of the build. That's the important thing. So, continuing to build up the base, we want to come to the back of the build, and we want to take this sideways facing spruce wood and extend it to the left by 5 using spruce slabs. Or, I keep calling them spruce slabs, but I mean birchwood slabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then place a spruce wood and extend it down to the ground. But also, on top of that particular spruce wood, go up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. I want you to, in the same position that you place the birchwood slab, continue moving through the sideways spruce wood, and I want you to place another 5 birchwood slabs. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place a spruce wood, 2 more slabs, 1, 2, spruce wood, then 2 more slabs, 1, 2, an additional spruce wood, and then 5 more slabs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then place yourself a spruce wood and connect that spruce wood down to the ground. However, here's the important part. We also want to extend that spruce wood upwards by 2. 1, 2. Extend that spruce wood, the second one, all the way to the right. You'll eventually hit something. There we go. We then want to connect the row of spruce wood that we've just made downwards to each one of the individual spruce woods that we have in the middle, and then extend those spruce woods downwards once more to connect down to the ground, like this. So we have quite a cool frame at the moment, I think. Okay, next we want to take these blocks in particular. So we want to take this block, this sideways spruce, connected down to the ground, and we want to extend this block upwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We also want to extend this block upwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the same of the very left. And I'm not going to count this out because we've already done that quite a few times. So we now have this. We want to connect all of that together at the top, like so. We're going to connect this all together at the top, and we should be left with something that should look exactly like that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do now is we're going to fill in a lot of the back of the house, because I want us to start putting some progress in. So, I want you to begin by placing a row of spruce wood that connects the entire bottom inside of the frame together. So let's say that you're on this back corner of the house where we kind of extended from. I want you to place a row of spruce wood that connects from this corner all the way to the opposite corner, one row inside of the frame. Like this. So you've now connected the entire back bottom of the build together. Place a row of birch planks on top of this. That's quite important. An entire row of birch planks on top of this. Because the entire house kind of a little bit sits on stilts a little bit, you see. And that's what we're emulating here. We also want to grab birchwood slabs, and we want to place a row of birchwood slabs, this time inside of the beams. We want to place a row of birchwood slabs in front of the top half of the birchwood planks. So going from left to right, connecting all of these spruce beams together, we want to have this. We also want to place a row of birch slabs on top of this right part here. So you know where we have like the spruce wood here? We want to place an entire row of birch slabs on top of this. Later on, that's going to be a balcony. That'll be important later, not really so much now. So I want you to fill in, starting from the right hand side here, I want you to completely fill this little portion of the house in using birchwood planks, like this, and it wants to be one row inside of the frame. Okay? If you want to make things, unnecessarily complicated, you can add yourself some like fence and stuff inside of the frame, maybe even some flowers and what have you, but it's not really necessary, It doesn't have to be that fancy all the time, but you can if you like. There's an example of how you can just brighten up a bit. There's no window there. As we come to the left, as we move left, here we're going to place a window. So I want you to place a row of birchwood planks inside of the frame at the bottom. Extend the birchwood planks upwards, like this, until they connect to the birchwood slabs that are just up above. I want you to then place birchwood planks behind the slabs at the top. And I want you to fill in the remaining area using glass pane. Now I'm going to get rid of obsidian and I'm going to grab some wooden trapdoors because I'm going to place grass blocks underneath the glass, grass underneath glass, wooden trapdoors in front of such, and then I'm going to place birch fence to the left and right. Later on, we'll flower that. As we move left here, this area is completely blank, so I'm going to fill in these two middle areas here with birchwood planks, including also placing birchwood planks behind these slabs too. So we don't want windows absolutely everywhere because the interior then becomes messy and clunky. You guys have seen at the start of the video, you can have a really cool functional interior with the setup that I've got here. So this very left side here is also a window, so I want you to place a row of birchwood planks at the bottom of this window, extend them up until they sit behind the birchwood slabs. I want you to place birchwood planks behind the slabs, fill in the window with glass pane, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to place some grass blocks underneath the glass, wooden trapdoors in front of the grass blocks, birch fence to the left and the right, and then you've got something that looks pretty nice. We're going to fill in this gap. So we've got a gap up here, right? I want you to fill in the gap that we have above all of the windows. I want you to fill it in using birchwood planks like this. You don't have to be so... You can be a little clumsy about it like that. What I then want you to do is we're going to fill in this middle part here. We're going to fill this in using birchwood planks. How are we going to do this? It actually seems as though what we've got here is we're just going to completely fill in this empty space using birchwood planks like this. We're just going to completely fill that in like that. And then this left side, we're actually going to place a window. And I think that we're going to make it similar to the window down below here. So I want you to place a square of birchwood planks inside this empty space like this. Okay. And then I want you to add another row of birchwood planks at the bottom. And then glass inside. And then we're going to place some grass block underneath the glass. And what's going to be different this time is we're going to run a row of birch fence like left and right of the grass connecting upward like this, yeah? And then I want you to place birchwood slabs underneath all of this. And then wooden trapdoors in front of the grass block. So it looks like a suspended window box, pretty much, which is kind of cool, right? If you like, you can even place some some wooden trapdoors above it, just to kind of add a little bit of detail. But, you know, it's up to you, however you want to do that, it really is. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to move our way over to the right side of the build, because that's what the back wants to look like at the moment. We'll be coming back to it, back to the back. We'll be coming back to the back later on. However, we want to progress around the build. There's a lot to be done. So here, on the right-hand side of the build, we've got more frame to make. So I want you to take these blocks in particular. So I want you to take this block right here, the spruce wood at the top right corner, and I want you to extend it to the left by 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I then want you to extend it down by 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then extend that back right, but also extend that same block down that you connected right, like this, but also extend that same block that you've connected down and right, extend it left by 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want you to do 2 things. First, I want you to extend that block up by 2, 1, 2, but also down by 1, left by 1, And then I want you to connect that block down to the ground. So, all in all, very weird shape again. You know, this house is a house of many weird shapes. I want you to, once you have done that, we now want to take, this is a little bit strange, right? But you know on the front of the build where we placed this birchwood slab here, I want you to take that same birchwood slab that we placed on the front, I want you to copy the position, and I want you to extend it backwards to the back of the build, like this. And you'll notice that you have the same thing on the back of the build. You can see where it all connects together. It's almost as if somebody planned it that way. That's so crazy. But anyway, once you have done that, we can now build a little bit more. So, can you remember how we placed the spruce wood earlier, like connecting the base of the frame together? I want you to extend the spruce wood that we placed inside the house, and I want you to extend it forwards. And I want it to go as far as here. So, these two empty spaces, I want spruce wood in them. Then, I want you to place a row of birchwood planks on top of the spruce wood. I'm even going to place it on the inside too, just for the fun of it. Like that. Now, these two plots are actually very, very similar. So what I want you to do is if we come inside, I want you to place a row of birchwood planks that comes upwards on this right side, and then comes across behind the birchwood slabs like this. And I want you to join it together in the middle using birchwood planks. And from the outside looking in, what you'll have created is this. I then want you to place a row of birchwood planks on the right side of the left side, and I want you to place a row of birchwood planks on the left side of the right side to create two regular squares, or rectangles as they are, they're not squares, are they? I then want you to place birchwood slabs in front of the upper half of the birchwood planks that sit on top of the spruce wood, and once again you'll notice that that continues on at the back of the house as well. Then place a row of birchwood planks inside the bottom of these two rectangular shapes, with grass blocks in front of the empty spaces at the bottom. I then want you to place birch fence left and right of the grass blocks, with wooden trapdoors in front of the grass blocks like this. And then glass pane inside of the birchwood planks like so. And there we go. That's pretty good. So, moving up a little bit, I also want you to fill in this empty space here, like just above the windows. You'll notice that you've got some empty space, so we're just going to fill that in. So from the outside looking in, no longer have empty spaces. I also want to fill this bit in here. So you remember what we did with this part? I want you to do the same here. So we're going to start off by placing a square of birchwood planks inside of this row. I think it's actually a rectangle again. I just do not know my shapes. And I then want you to add a row of birchwood planks at the bottom, glass inside there. I then want you to place grass block below the window, with birch fence coming up left of the grass block, coming all the way up to the top of the spruce, and to the right. And I want you to place birchwood slabs underneath all of the fence and the grass, with wooden trapdoors in front of the grass, and maybe even some wooden trapdoors in front of the window like that. So you can see it's quite detailed and it looks quite good. Now, once you've done that, we just have this one little bit that I want to take care of next. You remember where we placed the nether portal on the front of the build? I'm sure you can remember quite well. Well, I want you to place a row of spruce wood coming backwards from the right side of the portal, like this. So you'll have this sort of shape. I then want you to place a row of birchwood planks right of the spruce wood, and you know what, you can even place another row. You can completely fill in this area. And anyone who has eyes can tell you that that looks horrible, so what we're going to do to rectify this is we're going to place birchwood planks in front of the obsidian and also right of the spruce wood row like this, and we're going to connect it upward using birchwood slabs, and that is a far more acceptable aesthetic. So once you've done that, we can even add a row of birch fence on top of all of that, just to connect to that particular part of the house. And, you know, we're actually cracking on with the house quite well. So, like, you'll notice that now the front of the house looks a little bit more impressive after doing the back. And it's putting some of the rows that we have made into context. So, and what I mean by that is, like, now you can kind of see, like, oh, I see why we placed these rows. That makes sense now. Okay, speaking of making sense of this, as I am, I want you to take this sideways facing block in particular. You guys can see what I'm on about. We connected it down and then we did loads of stuff with this row. Well, it's this block in particular right here that we want to take and we want to extend to the left by 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We then want to extend that 12th block forwards. It will connect to a row that we placed previously. But what I also want you to do, you see, we should really install a floor here because I think that it would help quite a bit. So what I mean by install a floor, well, I mean exactly that. So let me see the best way to do this for you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, can you see here where we have this sticky up spruce wood? It's very close to the portal. This sticky up spruce wood right here. Well, what we want to do here is we want to extend this spruce wood backwards, or you can even place like an entire row of spruce wood behind it if you like, and then extend it upwards by 1, 2, 3. So it is as high as all of these spruce woods that are surrounding it. I also want you to add a row of spruce wood behind the 2 entrance rows. You guys might not know where they are, but the 2 entrance rows are these 2 parallel spruce wood rows that we placed earlier. And I want you to place a row of spruce wood completely behind them like this, coming all the way up to the top, and here as well. So we now have something which should look a little bit more like that, which is a bit better. And we now want to place a row of birchwood fence coming from this block here. We want to connect this block to the right using birchwood fence. 1, 2. We then want to take the spruce wood block behind that and we want to extend that to the right and we want to place 1, 2 birchwood fence. And then we want to take this spruce wood block and we want to extend this block all the way to the right to connect to this point of the build, to which we will then take this spruce wood and we will connect that to the right to connect to the back of the build, you see. So we have now connected all of that together. And why is that important, you might be asking yourself? Well, that's a very valid question. So I then want you to place spruce wood slabs underneath all of the fence that you've placed. You should be able to place it all the way around. I want you to place spruce wood slabs underneath all of the fence, like that. What I then want you to do, however, is I want you to place birchwood planks, like this. I want you to place birchwood planks behind all of the slabs. So place birchwood planks behind all of the slabs. And you can then take those planks, or you can use slabs for this, and you can fill in this entire area that we've kind of created here. You can even connect like this spruce wood, you can connect this backwards using spruce wood planks like this, and you can fill in the floors. So this is going to be the first floor that we have added to the house, and all it involves is connecting all of those birchwood planks backwards. If you want, you can indeed use the birchwood slabs, as that will give you greater headroom. That's something that we may alter as we get inside of the build later on. We'll see what we're dealing with, we'll see what we've got going on, may even change it to slabs later on, but I would like it if we did have this built right now. So, now you can kind of see how this is all piecing together. Now, we have a solid floor. And in making a solid floor, we can do this. So now, you can see here where we have this spruce wood that is like connected to the front and the side. Take that spruce wood and join it down to the ground, the new ground that we have created. And I want you to just fill in this area here, just to the left. I want you to fill this in using birchwood planks. But I want you to do it one row inside. like this. So I don't want you to like just straight up like birchwood plank it like that. I want it to be one row inside. And then I want you to take this row of spruce wood here, and we've got to divide it up a bit. So if we start from the left, I want you to count inwards, and I want you to count 1, 2, 3, extend that third block down to the ground using spruce wood. And then count another 1, 2, 3, and connect that down to the ground using spruce wood. And I want you to then count, this time it's a little bit different, I want you to count 2. So 1, 2, extend that down to the ground. And then I want you to count 2 again, 1, 2, and then connect that block down to the ground. So you can see we have divided this area up nicely. And what I want you to do is this. I want you to fill this very right area in with glass pane. This area to the left of this, place a glass block inside of the empty space at the top, and then fill in the area to the left using glass pane. Then the area left of this, place a row of glass pane, followed by a row of birch planks. Actually, we really, should we do this one row inside? Actually, you know what, I mean, the glass pane can stay, the ones that we've placed for the door, but I'll tell you what, it would be better for us, I think, if we did this one row inside. So inside of this, we want to have the glass pane here on the inside like this, and we'll place something to grip it onto. And then we have the row of birchwood planks inwards from there. And then to the right of this, we want this gap, we want to have glass pane here on the left, and we want to have birchwood planks inside. So from the outside looking in, yeah, that looks a bit better. So all we have to do there is we simply have to just add, we can either add more spruce wood or we could add more birch wood. It really doesn't matter which, and just give it something to grip onto to the top as well. So from the outside looking in, that looks a bit better. But we are missing something as well. You see the entrance here, this is an entrance, by the way. I want you to place birchwood planks in front of the bottom 2 pairs of spruce wood. I want you to place birchwood planks. And then on top, and then opposite facing birchwood stairs on top of this. And then I want you to connect them together using birchwood slabs, and then half a row up using the birch wood. So I want you to have something which should look exactly like that. Now, once you have done that, we can now, what we're going to do now? Well, really, we should do the roof. Alright, so I'll tell you what, that's exactly what we'll do. We will do the roof, I think. So, I know that this is complicated, by the way, guys. Okay, so I want you to come to the left side of the build. And we are specifically looking for this block right here. You guys can see this block, right? Well, I assume you can. I hope you can. Well, you want to take this block, and you want to place a birchwood slab to the left of it. Extend the birchwood slab forward, and then right by 1. And then up 1, right 1. 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 Like that. I then want you to place birchwood slabs coming around the top of the spruce wood, and this wants to continue on until it gets all the way to the back. Now I am going to pause in just a moment just so that I can show you what we've accomplished, but you can see that we have extended all of those upwards and then around the top of the spruce wood frame at the top of the build, and then we've extended it back as far back as here, so you guys can see that pretty well. And I'm unsure if, does it have to go back? Yeah, okay. So it comes all the way back here, and it comes in line with the spruce wood that we have right here on the back. And then we can start building it down again. So we want to extend it down, right, down, to the right, down, right, down, right, down, right, down, right, down, right. Which will of course allow us to connect it to the right like this, and that is perfectly fine. That looks pretty good, and you can see that that is the roof, or at least, you know, one of them. We've got a little mini roof later as well. Now, whilst that is important, I want to move on to this next little bit first before we like fill in the roof and stuff. So there's another floor to add to this house. There is another floor. So I want you to do this. So on the right side of the build, where we have where we have this row of 5 birchwood slabs with the fence on top of it, we're going to create another entrance here. So I want you to connect this inward birchwood plank. I want you to connect it down to the ground using birchwood planks like that. It will leave you this little 2-gap space. And this, believe it or not, we might have to place just as a placeholder. This is where the entrance is going to be for the entire second floor. It's right there. And I want you to place birch woods to the left of it. So birchwood planks. And then I want you to place glass to the left of this, so 2 glass pane I want to place to the left of this. I'm going to just place birchwood slabs underneath all of this, by the way, just underneath them. I then want you to fill in next to the glass pane using birchwood planks, and then we can fill the top of this in. So I'm going to fill the top of this in using birchwood slabs, like this, because slabs can always be turned into birchwood planks later on very easily, but to do the reverse is a little bit trickier. So that's what the top of this particular part of the house looks like, alright? We've got, it's a little bit messy, we've got some obsidian and stuff, but that's what we want to have. Well, I also want you to add some birch fence on top of the birch slabs that we have here, and the birch planks next to them. So once you've placed those birchwood fence, I want you to place birchwood planks behind the birchwood slabs that we have behind the entrance area. So from the front, you'll have this. Now on top of those planks, I want you to place birch fence on top of the right side planks, and on top of the left side planks, I want you to place birch fence. On top of the middle section, I want you to place birch planks on top of planks, and then glass pane in between the 2 rows of planks. What I then want you to do is on the left side here, you'll notice that we have this row of birchwood slabs, right? Well, I want you to take this row of birchwood slabs, and I just want you to place, I think we want to place birchwood stairs in front of it. So from the right spruce wood, I want you to place a row of birchwood stairs going all the way left, like that. So now that you've placed those stairs, I don't think that I can really put off this next bit any longer. So I want you to do this. We have to, you see the position that we placed the birchwood slabs earlier that was above the entrance to the second floor and stuff, you can see where the birchwood slabs are. Well, I want you from this position here, this spruce wood block, it's the same one here. We want to have a row of birchwood slabs, so you can see that it kind of moves through the build. And I want you to place birchwood planks behind the birchwood slabs, like that. And I want you to place birchwood planks coming backwards from all of this. I want you to place a solid floor of birchwood planks until we eventually hit the back of the build. So now we are expanding on the floor that we placed earlier. Alright, so we have something which should look like that now, but from the front the change isn't so radical, I don't think. And you can even do this, you can even add birchwood planks here, like this. That looks pretty good. And you can even add a birchwood plank row here. We have to also fill in the top of the balcony as well, which is kind of a thing too. So I think that we're also going to fill in the top of the balcony. To do this, we're just going to place birchwood planks inside of this area as well, where we placed all of the spruce wood and the birchwood slabs earlier. So all of this. And I also want you to place birchwood slabs coming around this section too. So extending from the stairs outwards and then connecting round and extending to the back like this. And then that leaves you with these 2 empty spaces here, which is kind of good because that's pretty much what we want, right? So I want you to, this left space, this also has to be an entrance. So I'm just going to place a row of birchwood planks. I think it might actually come all the way out like this. Maybe kind of like all the way out. The important part about this particular part of the build is that we have an entrance / exit out onto the balcony. So you can make it look kind of interesting like that, but the entire point of that particular part is to facilitate an entrance out onto this little mini balcony like that. The right hand side, I mean, we kind of want this side and this side. We kind of want the theme of the birchwood slabs to like move through the build, so that's going to just move from the side like that, if you can kind of see. Yeah, that's pretty good. But in doing that, we can now fill in this area here, and we can fill in the roof. So I want you to fill in the roof using birchwood slabs. It is quite simple to do. So first of all, you just follow the shape of the roof that you placed earlier. So you just want to place all of the spruce wood slabs. I keep calling it spruce wood. You want to place all of the birchwood slabs. Which are the solid blocks? That's a solid block, that's a solid block. There we go, just to save a bit of time with all of the slabs and stuff, because I'm not so interested in like a textured inside of the house, which is what we would get if we just did the particulars using, if we just did like the outside of the roof with the spruce wood slabs, birchwood slabs, then that is the effect that we would get rather than what we're getting now, which is like a solid interior roof, if that makes sense. So I just want you to completely fill in the roof using birchwood slabs, and I want you to just, as you would, just connect it front to back. We're just going to fill in the entire top of this, but in doing this, that will allow us to add in the additional walls for the room that we've just created. As I said, this house is very complicated to put together. It's a really strange build, but it's very survival in its making. It's almost as if somebody like started off with a small house and kept adding to it and adding to it. But you see, in doing that, we now have a roof over our heads, but we now have this area here on the front and the back to fill in, which is really simple, because all we have to do to fill in this particular area is we just want to we want to add some birchwood plank. What shall we do first? First, we'll place some glass in the area, right? Wherever it'll allow us to place glass, we want to have this like shape of glass here, right? So like, just like 3 on the bottom coming from the right and then 2 on top of it. And then we're just going to fill around this using birchwood slabs, like this, because you'll have to get a bit of slabbage involved. And we want the same on the back. I also want a little mini window on the back too, which means some glass here and here and here. I'm just copying what I have on the front, by the way, just in case you're confused. I'm just copying exactly what we've got on the front. Just want that to go up to there. And then a plank block here. And then slab block here. I messed that up. Here, then here, and then here. So I want the same on the back as I do the front. You see, the back's looking quite complete at the moment. I mean, it's a little bit crazy, but you know, it is what it is. So from the front, we now have a lot more filled in space. You know, the entire top floor is pretty much done. But that does leave this this second floor here, which, I mean, we can only get inside of it, actually, like where we have this door. We've got to get inside of it like this. And I want you to take this row of spruce wood that we have right here. You can see this row of spruce wood. I want you to extend this row of spruce wood to the right, and I want you to place... Actually, let's add in a floor. The floor will make things easier again. So I want you to add in a floor to this area. Where we have the blocks underneath the fence, I want you to place a row of birch wood planks. So this, I just want you to add a complete floor in, add in rows of birchwood planks, and then that will allow us to better add in more walls, add in more structure. That's where we're going wrong here. We're kind of trying to run before we walk. If we build the foundation, if we add in all of the floors, then it will make it easier to make the walls. It'll make it so much easier. So you can see exactly where you've got to add it in. And once again, you can turn this into slabs later on. There's no reason for this to be planks other than the fact that it's a bit easier and it looks a bit cleaner, but you can easily turn this into slabs later on once we have all of the basics. But now that we have a solid floor here, we can now take the spruce wood that we have to the left of us, this row of spruce wood, and we can extend it inwards using a row of birchwood planks. We then want to take the bottom plank and extend it to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then extend that up. Fill in the center of this using glass pane. And then add a row of spruce wood to the right of that. Leave a gap of 2 going right, so 1, 2. And then add a row of spruce wood. And then we want to add in, what do we want to add in here? I do have it on my plan somewhere. We then want to add 3 rows. We then want to add a row of birchwood planks. And then take the bottom, extend it to the right by 1, 2. And then up, add in a cute little window, glass pane. And then I want you to connect this birchwood wall here to the wall that we've just made, which gives us a nice little balcony area around here. But what's kind of cooler about the balcony is I want you to extend the spruce wood that we have that leads us into the house 1 row forwards, like this. And I want you to extend the spruce wood here also 1 row forwards. So it kind of creates a natural sort of hallway around here. And what I'm also going to do, I'm just going to brighten up this area a little bit. I'm going to add some grass blocks with some wooden trap doors below the windows, just to kind of spruce up the place a little bit. Maybe add in a little bit of a fence next to this, just to kind of box it in a little bit. Maybe add, this is what I love to add, just random chests and paintings around the place. I like to do stuff like that just to brighten things up, maybe even a chest here. And torches are always a good idea, maybe here and here. You could even place them here and here as well if you wanted to, just to kind of just add a bit of natural light, maybe here and here as well, just to make the place nice and bright. And you see from the outside what we will have created, it's actually kind of cool. You see now you have a nice secret away hidden balcony that nobody's really sure how to get to exactly from the outside. But you can see that we're hammering away at this and we're actually doing a really good job, I think. So the next thing I want to do is I want to clean up this balcony area here. The balcony that is only accessible through what will have a ladder there. I want to place grass blocks and some flowers and stuff. I want you to place a row of grass blocks on top of the obsidian. And maybe even touching the fence as well. And I want you to create kind of a corner shape using the grass like this. Maybe I'll get rid of some of the grass like that, actually. Maybe I'll get rid of some of the grass. Maybe add a little bit of spruce wood there diagonally. And then that way, we can grab the wooden trap doors. And we can place some wooden trap doors on the end of the grass like that. And then if you place some tall rose bushes at the back, with some poppies and stuff, similar coloured flowers around. And then if you add stuff if you had either stone buttons or wooden buttons maybe on top of there, that looks kind of cool, right? Or at least I think so. I mean, I think it really brightens up that particular part of the house. And what it does do is it covers up most of the obsidian. Maybe we'll even... how can we cover that up? I mean, you can just add a wooden slab if you want. Maybe just cover it up like that. Maybe we don't even use trapdoors. Maybe we just use a little bit of wooden slab edge, like so. And that looks pretty good, if you ask me. I think that looks that kind of improves the look of the house there. Now, what are we going to be doing next? So, I think it's now time for us to add what I would refer to as the decking area to the house. Okay, it's pretty much decking to the house. All right. So I want you to come to the front right side of the house where we have the nether portal, okay? And I want you to locate the bottom left block that connects the portal down to the ground, and we're going to need some spruce wood for this. So this block right here, I want you to take the block just up above it, and I want you to take the upper part of that block and place 2 birch slabs going left of this, 1, 2 of that second block. Then place a spruce wood going left, connect it down to the ground and also upwards. I then want you to extend that sideways birch wood to the left by 2 using birch planks, 1, 2, and then place a sideways spruce wood, extend it down and up. I want you to take the sideways spruce wood and extend it to the left using slabs by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place a sideways spruce wood, extend it down and up by 1. And then I want you to extend that block. I want you to extend that sideways spruce wood block backwards by 1 using a slab. And then place a spruce wood to the left of it. Connect that spruce wood down to the ground. Leave a gap of 1. Place another spruce wood, 1 on top. Connect that spruce wood to the left using birchwood slabs like this. Take the spruce wood that is connected via the birchwood slab and extend that to the left by 1 using birchwood slabs. Place a spruce wood to the left of that and then down. Gap of 1 in the ground. Place yourself a spruce wood, 1 on top. Place a birchwood slab to the left, and then a spruce wood to the left of that. Connect down to the ground, and then take that same sideways facing spruce wood and connect it to the back of the house like this. And in doing that, you will have created the framework we'll call it, of a decking area. And the reason that's important is because we now want to place birchwood planks behind all of the birchwood slabs like this. Birchwood planks behind all of the birchwood slabs like this. You guys can see what I'm doing, right? You just want to add it all the way around like so, coming inwards like this. Okay. And from there, we can add another floor into the house. So we can now extrapolate from those birchwood plank blocks. We can extrapolate from those and we can extend it inwards into the house, which I'm sure that you guys won't struggle with. Like, you just extend it coming in the house like this. It wants to sit inside the frame on the right hand side, by the way. So like when you get to the right hand side, there's a lot to do. I forgot how much of a square area this is. Like when you get to the left side of the house here, just sit it inside of the spruce wood frame, because we will be adding in windows, we'll be adding in doors, etc, etc. You guys get the idea. We will be adding all of that stuff in. So we just want to take this, fill in the entire floor wherever you can see in between all of the spruce wood like this. And we can alter this later on, you know, and by alter it I mean like you can drop the floor on the inside, you can add in your secret base, you can do whatever you like. But for now, just for building purposes, instead of editing it as we go, we'll just add in the floor, and then later on, if you do want to drop the floor on the inside, because you'll have more space that way, you'll definitely have more headroom, then you can do so. And I'd recommend that actually. Like when you do get to the point where you do the inside, I would drop the floor by a row. But that's just me. And I'll tell you what I won't do, because this is what I did on the original version of mine. I'm not going to install a floor behind like where the nether portal is. So this entire corridor, you guys might remember it from the start, I have a secret hidden room. And I'm not going to drop the floor for this part. I'm going to leave it right here. I'm not going to install a floor. But from the outside looking in now, haha, can you guys see what we've done? We've actually done loads there as a result of that. We've done loads. That's actually helped a ton. Alright, so next, grab some birch fence. I want you to establish some boundaries. So I want you to place, if we start from the right where we came from, I want you to place birch fence on top of these birchwood slabs. These two blocks here in between the two rows of spruce, we're actually going to delete these, place stairs, connect them down to the ground, and place spruce wood next to the stairs. And maybe even extend them out a little bit, maybe like towards us, one like this, maybe even have them facing the ground, maybe even have something like that, just a set of stairs to lead us up onto the deck. I'm going to place birch fence connecting these stairs to the corner. And I want to have birch fence here on top of this slab and on top of this slab. And we actually want to be able to get from the decking here onto the ground. So I'm just going to dig into that a little bit, place some birch wood stairs leading down onto the ground. And a similar thing here too, I'm going to dig that out and I'm going to place some birch stairs like this. And I'm also going to place a birch fence here on this slab and here. I'm going to extend this spruce wood upwards so that it connects. And I'm going to place a row of birch fence leading backwards like this. So you can see here that we now have a bit more of a reinforced decking area, as you can see. So now that we've done the decking area, I want you to place a row of spruce wood that connects the underneath of the decking together. So I want you to place spruce wood underneath all of the birchwood planks that was placed to connect the decking together. So you can see where you've got to place it. It's quite simple, just underneath all of the decking like this. There we go. So all in all, that looks a little bit better, right? We're making this a little bit better inch by inch rather than mile by mile. You know, it's we're not doing too bad. So once you have done that, let's start from the left. We'll begin from the left here. On the left hand side, I also want you to add a row of birchwood slabs. You can see where we have the birchwood slabs underneath the fence. Add a row of birchwood slabs here. And connect the birchwood planks here down to the ground like this. Place birchwood planks on the bottom and place a window using glass pane like that. If you like, you can have the same generic window box that we've placed everywhere else. You can place some like you can place some like grass blocks and some you can place yourself some like some fence next to it, and later on you can even place some flowers. I actually have flowers on me right now. That's looking pretty decent. So moving around to this point, we want another little window. So that means birchwood planks at the bottom, and then to the right, and then a little glass window here. And again, I think we're just going to have grass blocks and maybe some wooden trap doors, some poppies, just to keep it nice and bright. I'm actually going to have a couple of like lounging chairs out here, like birchwood stairs like this, maybe with like a couple of birchwood slabs, just to kind of have something here really. This is a door, so I guess we should treat it as such. Maybe I might extend the door outwards like that. That looks a little bit funky actually, but still. This is a door, you know, handle it however you like. This area here, this is also going to be a window, which means birchwood planks connecting down left and right. And then at the bottom, and then glass pane inside, and then again, you know, maybe just a whole row of grass blocks this time, with wooden trap doors in front, with some poppies. I'm gonna take that door and I'm gonna extend it one row inwards, I think. So maybe like spruce wood here, and then that way, I'll get rid of that fence for a sec. And then that way the door is not going to be in anyone's way like that. There we go. So the door was otherwise like touching the trap door. That freaks me out. I don't know why. Alright? What I want you to then do, can you remember when we placed this set of stairs earlier? Well, this was actually a precursor to a porch, which means I want you to take birchwood slabs and extend the birchwood stairs forwards across the porch like this until it connects to the row of birchwood slabs that you placed earlier. So you can see we now have a porch area. Damn, this house is looking so pretty at the moment. I don't know why. I just love this kind of construction in Minecraft. I really do like how I like these sorts of builds. It's so much fun, and they're so much fun to actually like use in survival and explore and stuff. Anyway, what I want you to do, we're on the front now. We're kind of working our way around. So to put this into perspective, this is where the entrance is, right? The entrance is right here, right in the middle. To the right of this, I just want you to place a row of birchwood planks that connects upwards with glass pane inwards like that. Okay? Or the other way around, it doesn't matter. To the left, I want a similar deal. So I want glass pane, and then I want birchwood planks. And then I want you to add birchwood planks at the base of this, and I want you to add in another window using glass pane. And then we're going to do something different. We're going to dig in the decking underneath the window, place some grass, poppies in it, wooden trapdoors in front flicked upward, And then later on, and by later on I mean now, I'm going to grab cauldrons, left and right this, some jungle leaves. So we've still got the flowers, it's a bit different, we've got some cool cauldrons. I really like how that looks. So what are we working with at the moment? What's missing, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I can tell you what's missing. A little bit more decoration. We're going to add a little bit of cauldron, a little bit of jungle leaves like that. I mean, if you like, what you can do, I mean, just randomly around the build, this will affect the inside though. You know, you can just add flower. Don't be afraid to put grass on here and add some like poppies. You can even add light if you want to. I know that I've got torches. You can even add light if you want to, like this. Definitely something you can do. We need ladders, so the only way, in mine, you can change this in yours, the only way to get to the second floor, which is cool because you've got to explore, that's the whole point, the only way to get to the second floor is a set of ladders here, running up this spruce wood where we've made this like flower bed area, which can also be improved by the way. I mean, you can add stuff like this, you know. It's one of my favourite decorations to add just a grass block with some wooden trapdoors around it and some form of flower, whatever it may be. That is too high. You are far too big, Rosebush. I'm so sorry, but here. You know, something like that. It's one of my favourite decorations to add. It really is. Because it goes everywhere and it looks fine. Anyway, that's the only way to get up to the second floor, hence why we placed the ladders there. Out front of the house, we are actually missing something. Out front of the house, we have a small farm. So if you do yourself a favor, okay, let's grab some stuff. We need spruce wood, we need birch fence for this, we need hoe, seeds, diamond shovel, or any shovel, doesn't really matter. Oh, and I need to replace this with grass. So to mark out the area, I did stupidly, as you guys have seen. I've placed a load of concrete. So in doing that, like this, I can't do what I wanted to do, which is diamond hoe everywhere. So I want you to place a spruce wood that would connect, that like from these two spruce blocks would connect in the corner. So like if you kind of follow it along and see where they would connect together, I want you to place a spruce wood here, and I want you to make it too high like this. Place fence, then connecting the 2 rows of spruce wood to the corner of the house. I then want you to make a grass path that leads very simply from this stair to this stair. We then want to hoe out the entire rest of the... Oh no. I then want you to hoe out the entire rest of the area here using a hoe and just simply planting some seeds because I think it looks quite nice like this. Kind of like that whole like farmer fashion. I don't know, like that. And that looks pretty good to me. And what you can do to kind of improve the area around it is underneath the decking area, you know, you can plant some flowers and stuff or lights. But I think that flowers in that particular occasion look quite cool. And I'm gonna dig up the rest of this green here as well, like just in front of the build. I'm not gonna do it anywhere else, just in the front of the build here, because I want you to add in a little bit of a path in front of the nether portal. Just a little bit of a path, something that look, you know, something like that. Something very simple. We're going to add a little bit of jungle leaves around the nether portal too. So, sort of like this. Maybe, what am I doing? Like that. Maybe even come up in the corners. No, I hate that. Not in the corners. Gonna add some more red tulips underneath this particular part here. Gonna add, so this is what you can do. I call these decking lights. I'm gonna use glowstone, trapdoor, dig holes underneath the decking, glowstone in it, wooden trapdoor next to it, and then some flowers next to the lights. Kind of detract the eye a little bit. Gonna place a little bit of grass path around the front of the house. Like this. Just because I think that looks good. And we're cracking on here. That looks really nice. Gonna grab some torches and just gonna torch that place there. That's not looking too bad. I want something a bit different for this next part. So the next thing I want to do, because we've done quite well here, you know, we've got a lot of the outside decorated here. On this little balcony, I want to place incremental like bushes. I want to have some like jungle leaves stacked on top of birch fence like this. Just to kind of like, oh, that looks horrible. They're not spaced out very well, I don't think. So maybe like there. Maybe like one there. Does that look okay? Is that better? And then maybe one in this corner. That might look a little bit better still. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. And then if you wanted to, I mean, this whole house is about mystery and hiding stuff. Like, you could even, like, hide a mystery chest out there on that corner. What else can we do? So what else have we got going on? So, this area up here, this isn't very well decorated at the moment. So I'll tell you what, we'll place some more grass blocks. This is such an easy decoration, yet it looks so good. Grass blocks, wooden trapdoors, red tulips. You can even add like cauldrons, jungle leaves. Again, it's the same decorations, but it really does look great. What I like to do, I like to use red carpet, or any sort of carpet really. I like to place carpet outside too. I like to create rugs and kind of options. But what I like to do with my carpets is I kind of like to point them in directions. And what I mean by that is, it will be kind of apparent. So you can see how the carpet kind of points to the right a bit. That takes you upstairs. You can see how it kind of points towards these doors. That takes you that way. You can see how the carpet kind of points to the left. Do you get the idea? How the carpet's kind of take you around the house. It's almost like an arrow. You can do a similar sort of thing up here. This isn't really going to take you in a direction. So if you just place it like this, you have a funky looking carpet. You know, you can't go too wrong with it. I like to do the same thing on the inside as well. But maybe even if you place a little bit of red carpet here, it'll kind of take you from here into the inside of the house. That's how I like to use carpet. And it really does brighten things up a little bit, right? Doesn't that look kind of cool? You could even use a little bit up here too. I love how carpet really does just kind of how it really does just brighten up a lot of the build. But you know, something like this is this is kind of the whole house, ladies and gentlemen. We've actually made loads. I mean, that's the house pretty much complete. The only thing I do want to do is light the portal. And I've got a special... This is what I like to do with nether portals, right? I like to grab a purple block, purple concrete, purple magenta concrete, red, you know, something similar to purple. And I like to place that colour concrete... No, that's wrong. I like to place the colourful concrete behind the nether portal, like this. And then once the nether portal is lit, it looks a bit more interesting. So for instance, we light the nether portal, and then you can see very clearly the magenta concrete behind it. So if we were to delete it, you can just see straight through it, right? But with the purple concrete, it looks a bit more interesting. So says me. So that's looking pretty good. Let me think here. So let's start on the ground floor of the house. Ground floor of the house is perfect, right? So we can navigate the whole ground floor of the house. The mechanism to make the hidden rooms very simple. I mean, it couldn't get too much more simple, as a matter of fact, right? If you create a separating wall here between the area behind the nether portal and the secret room, the secret room's going to be right here, okay? And it's so easy to make. All you got to do is place 2 sideways sticky pistons. And then you can even place something in front of it. So an innocuous material such as spruce wood is fine. You place a lever in front of them, activates the pistons, right? Easy as. And then once those are closed, the door is closed. But what I'm going to recommend is you cover up the pistons, obviously, with something. So I chose bookshelves. Bookshelves, you know, you expect to see them around the house. And as long as you don't make it obvious that that's an entrance way, then you're going to kind of be completely fine. So what I mean by that is it's a little bit weird, right? If that looks weird. Speaking of weird, that looks weird. So it looks weird if you have just a 2-block gap missing on this side. Oh, I wonder what that lever does. But if you don't on this side, so if you covered that up, it looks a little bit weird that you've got a random 2-block gap. So it covers things up a little bit by having a bit of symmetry on both sides, and then it's kind of oh, where is it? Does the lever even do anything? Can you hide it as well? That's another question. Can you hide the lever a little bit? You absolutely could. If you wanted to, you could make it only half a block visible. Does that work? I thought that works. Anyway, the point of the matter is, that's how you make the door. It's so simple. You guys saw the mechanism. Sticky pistons, something in front of them, lever, cover up the pistons, make sure that that's all down at all times, and then you can get in and out. This leads you to the hidden room. This is the first floor done. There's no more to be shown here unless you want to furnish it. That's not what I'm going to do in this video though. So that's how you get in and out of the first room. Obviously it connects over here. The second story is a bit different. The only way to get up to the second story of my house is you climb up these ladders here and in through this doorway. Got a sizable amount of space. It leads you out onto the balcony area here. We've got a lot of flowers and stuff missing. I'm actually going to place them as we go along. I use some tulips. Going to place flowers as we go along. So that leads out onto the balcony, which also leads out onto this balcony too. How do you get upstairs? Well, the way that I did that is so simple. You know, all you got to do is just you've just got to create something that looks quite natural, like place like spruce wood here, knock out that block, like a birchwood plank here, and then just ladder it up. So something like that. That was actually perfect placement. I actually couldn't have done that to the left, but then that will take you up here, you know? Then this is where you can have a bedroom. This leads you outside onto your additional balcony. We've got a lot of flowers to add still everywhere. Let's get a variance. Let's have some like rose bushes too. Okay, can't have rose bushes here. Can we have them upstairs? No, we can't. Okay, tulips it is. You're probably going to want to vary up your flowers just for the sake of, just to make it a bit more interesting, really. But I'm just for the tutorial, just normal flowers. And that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I've shown you how to make the entire house. I've shown you how to navigate it. We've got floors absolutely everywhere. I've shown you how to get up and down them, how to make a little hidden room. I think that we've kind of done with this. Let me show you the original version to give you some ideas for the interior, though. So we're back with the original, and it doesn't differ very much from what we've made at all, right? I mean, it's pretty much almost a carbon copy. So the inside, that's what we're here for. If I crack open the front doors, this is my downstairs. I wanted a library on the downstairs to conceal the hidden room. I'm going to leave you with this, right? If you want, pause the video, make something similar yourself. It's up to you. Like, I'm going to give you plenty of opportunities to take a pause and maybe give you some ideas, some inspiration for the inside of your house. The left side of my downstairs, it's much more of a bit of a crafting area, a little bit more of a storage area. Once again, can you kind of see how the carpet kind of leads you places too? But you know, this is kind of what I've got on downstairs. A lot of this is very utilitarian. You can use this house. It's not a show house. So I already showed you how to make the entrance to the hidden base, but down here, like you can see, it's just a bit of a farm. We've got some paintings, we've got some brewing stands, we've got chests galore everywhere, plenty of light. We've got a little bit of a stairs stepping down, but you could have whatever you wanted in here. But I kind of like the idea of a secret brewing station. That's what I like. If we come up to the second floor, you see we've got a very different design here up for the little garden. I actually like the one that I just made on tutorial better. Upstairs, I mean, once again, it's more storage. It's more chests, it's more furnaces, it's more light, it's storage, it's survival. We've got, you know, out here, I mean, I actually think I've got pretty much the exact same thing that I did on my tutorial here. Like, you can kind of see what we've got going on. If we come up to the third floor as well, like coming up to the third floor, this is where things are a bit different. You know, we've got a few beds about the place. We've got some armor stands. We've got a little bit of ender chest, some chest action going on. We've got a cheeky sign that tells you to look up. You know, we've got more weaponry, we've got more storage. I mean, that's pretty much all there is to show and tell with the house. You know, the interior isn't absolutely massive, but what it is, it's intriguing, it's secretive, it's interesting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope that you have found this tutorial useful or inspirational. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that. It helps me out so much. And if you have liked this house enough to make it, then please share it with a friend. That always helps, and maybe they'd love to make an awesome house too. If not, maybe it'll just give them some inspiration. Maybe they'll just enjoy a look at it. If you would like to keep up to date with the channel, please do subscribe and click the little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that all my stuff is sent directly to your sub box. If you would like to check out any more of my builds, I would highly recommend the card system in the description below. I'll leave a couple of links to some playlists that I think that you guys will really enjoy. You can see that we've got all sorts of houses around us. We've literally got wacky, wooden, modern houses, survival bases, crazy houses, cartoon houses, all sorts of stuff on the channel. I also love suggestions, which you can leave down below in the comments. And that is pretty much everything, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. You guys really are so important to me and the channel. I really do appreciate all of you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!